Hello out there, everyone, and welcome back to Podsquisite Corpsecast, the messed up, demented podcast that goes with the messed up, demented comic that is Exquisite Corpses by the Tiny Onion crew and guests, as usual, set in the doomed Oak Valley, Maine. And we had a doozy of an issue. We're going to be talking about Exquisite Corpses 8 this week. And it's me, Mike D, with my co-host Vargas for you all.
Hello,
Salutes
everyone.
from Vargas. And then shout out to our third host of the day, Space Camper Cosmic IPA. Always helping boost our silliness for every episode that we do. So thank you, Boulevard Brewing Company, for sponsoring this podcast and bringing First Issue Club to the masses. But let's get into it. That's what we're here for.
I'm super excited
Vargas.
about this episode because I haven't read the issue yet. I made a last ditch attempt. So a peek behind the curtain for everybody. We're recording on a Sunday night. I made a last ditch effort to get to a shop today, and they didn't have any issues. I found the only comic shop in Kansas City that's apparently not pulling Exquisite Corpses. So, So dear listener, this is exciting for me as it is for you, because I haven't read the issue. I don't know what happens. So, our lovely storyteller Mike D is going to be pulling probably most of the weight here. But if I ask dumb guy questions, now you know why. It's because I'm actually a dumb guy.
You can be our audience proxy as well, and maybe you'll be more tuned in to where the show is bad and where it's good.
Oh, yeah, I'll make notes. That's a good point. Yeah.
We might want to pick up the pace in this segment.
Okay, all right, Mike. You got to keep it rolling here, buddy.
All right, our cover this week features... oh my gosh, I'm spacing on this character's name already.
That's Spider-Man.
Dude with all the tripwires with the Spider-Man haircut. I've got his name in my notes. The Recluse, that's right. And our guest creatives are Pornsack Pichetchote and Adam Gorham. So, we've covered a lot of Pichetchote comics on the podcast and really loved a lot of the stuff that was happening with I think the Manchurian and all of those like indie books that were like spin-offs of super genre, but like what if you changed the nationality of James Bond? Like how much does that change the story?
Yeah.
I think
Horizon Experiment?
The Horizon Experiment. I think it started from his idea, and I apologize if I'm misattributing this to him, but I'm pretty sure that was his brainchild, and we loved that series.
Yeah, those were killer.
So as always, great stellar guest creatives on the book. The card this week is Leopold Strong.
Ooh.
A card I wasn't sure if we were going to get because this was a one-time like promotional thing at Emerald City Comic Con. I think when they announced Exquisite Corpses, there was a Fox Mask Killer card and a Leopold Strong card. And I was like, oh man, am I going to have to buy these on eBay for like $1 million if I want these? No, is the answer. Thank goodness we can still get certain copies of these in your issues.
Excellent.
The card specifically, you deal a ton of damage with his card, but you skip a turn, which is, I think, maybe appropriate for the doomed nature of our strong man. That he can pack a punch, but might not have staying power.
That's right.
Yep. All right. Let's get into the issue itself then. We start in the control room, where we often do, and it is in disarray. If you'll remember from issue 7, we lost the feeds to the game. So the game master is working with the groundskeeper to reestablish a connection right away. From this scene, we see Lady Carolina trying to get a hold of her twin in the field as she's in the bathroom hiding out. And then Massachusetts discovers her and kind of says like, hey, you're cheating, but she's not really going to snitch or has no incentive to snitch. But we've already reestablished connection, and we know that there's some people who are trying to get in contact with their people.
Okay.
So we're not in disarray too long. The fog of war has cleared, Vargas.
Okay.
And it's a good thing because we find out a lot over the next handful of pages. This was an action-packed issue.
Okay. So you're gonna answer this question, but does this issue take place over like the loss of feed, or is the loss of feed like a 2-minute thing between issues?
Very brief thing between issues. I would say the majority of what happens that the people on the other side don't see is maybe what we read in issue 7.
Oh, okay.
That a lot of this is like the immediate aftermath of the explosion is stuff that like they're not privy to, and then it comes right back on.
Got it.
So more than anything, I think that was just like a storytelling thing to just like leave a little more cliffhangers for the next issue.
Yeah,
they give us a lot of like good fun answers like pretty quick out of the gate.
Yeah, okay.
All right, this is where our guest creatives take over. And we had speculated last episode about whether or not Laura and Audrey are Jason's mom, who worked at the car dealership, and Nurse Laura, how they did out of crashing their ambulance. Well, in this scene, Audrey wakes up and gets out of the ambulance while Laura is still passed out. And she says to a passed out Laura, I promise I'm going to come back for you, but I got to find Jason. And she takes off running.
No.
So Laura all by herself, passed out in a van.
Do we have any confirmation that Laura is like alive?
Not at this point.
Oh, man. Okay.
We shall see. All will be revealed, Vargas.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Okay. So from here, we flash to the pit. The clearing in the forest where all the dirt bags and high schoolers party.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I think most people were on the edge of their seats with from the last issue. If you remember, Pretty Boy was putting the moves on Layla Blaze. Layla shoves him off and blows up the band's van.
Yes.
And we see limbs flying and chaos ensuing, and we don't really know what happens from there. We assume that's the explosion that took out the feed that was connecting us to the control room. But back at the pit, we find Pretty Boy is alive.
Okay.
And he has more or less been turned into a Two-Face type character from the accident.
Pretty Boy no longer.
Pretty Boy no longer. And he does this thing where he's kind of like gets up and he's charming everybody, and he's just like nobody could, take Pretty Boy down. And then he gets a glimpse of himself in the car window and sees that he is, like you said, Pretty Boy no longer, and absolutely loses his mind.
Sure.
This is like his vanity really comes out and sends him into a rage now that he's disfigured, and you get maybe a page and a half or 2 pages of him just like slaughtering people, just in a complete like daze of anger. Pulls a lady's eyeball out, squishes it in his hand. It's it's pretty brutal.
Whoa. And that's not the character you would expect that coming from, because like
he's always kind of been cool, calm, and collected throughout the entire story. Yeah. But I think we're seeing now that he's so much of his persona is based on like his perception of like being hot shit.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've had an instance for his like temper to come out.
Yeah.
And he just goes ham. So
very like Patrick Bateman.
Yes, exactly right. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got a fire inside. Okay, this is a lot of like these scenes are a lot of like quick flashes back and forth and back and forth. So
sure.
Hopefully I don't give you whiplash here.
Okay.
I'm
holding
on. We're back to the cemetery, and we get your answer. Nurse Laura wakes up.
Okay.
And when she wakes up and stumbles out of the ambulance, she discovers the lone gunman up against a grave. His hand has been cut off, and he's got a knife in his chest near his heart.
Whoa, okay.
So one of the characters I thought for sure was going to be last 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Is basically kaput in this quick scene that we get here. That's maybe just like 1 page.
Yeah.
All right. From there, we've got Mike, convenience store Mike, crazed the conspiracy theorist who's gained our hearts.
Yes, meth head Mike.
Meth head Mike with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And he, Zavi, and Jason, Audrey's kid, are making their way out from the pit. They've left the pit to the corn maze. If you remember, they took Mike's car, I think, right before chaos ensued, and went to try to find Craig, who had gotten left in the corn maze with all the hubbub with Gamer Kid and Rascal Randy.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where Rascal Randy's still kind of on the loose, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. At this point, the corn maze is completely ablaze. If I remember, the game master is forcing everyone in towards the center of the town more quickly than normal to speed up the pace of things. So the corn maze fully on fire. Zavi races in to find Craig against Mike's recommendation that like, hey man, he's gone inside that thing. But they do run inside after Zavi to try to pull him back out. He finds Craig's dead body. So we've got a confirmed death for our guy Craig. I think that we had maybe speculated that this wasn't going to be the end of our one of the sweeter characters in the comic, that he wasn't totally dead at the end of that last reveal. However, I think we're finding that James and team are holding nothing precious here.
Sure.
That this issue really surprised me with like how quickly like it drew an end to like so many characters or put certain characters on like a path to doom.
Yeah.
So we're sorry to see you go, Craig.
Gone too soon.
Yep, you're a real one. You're an Oak Valley real one.
That's right.
There is a sweet moment where Mike has Jason pull down his cap over his eyes and is like, "You don't need to see this." So again, Mike, heart of gold. And they grab Zavi and they pull him out and they're like, "We're not letting you die too." And so they're on the move. Where to next, we don't know, but they're kind of, running this circle of like who went where, and Audrey's after them, and we'll see if they ever ultimately meet back up again. All right, now we're going back to the cemetery.
Okay.
Well, let me say, we're about at the staples of this comic at this point.
Okay.
Midpoint check-in. Is everything making sense? How's the episode so far?
No, I'm following. You're doing extremely well. With your breakdown.
All right, right on.
My dumb guy brain is following, so you're doing well. Excellent work.
Okay, we're back at the cemetery, and the lone gunman has at this point clocked that Laura is military, just based on the way she's like checking in with him and making sure he's okay, and some of the way that she carries herself. And so they have this like brief moment. And
sorry, is he like wearing his gold mask? Like
his gold mask is off at this point.
Okay, so she might think he's just a guy.
Yeah, like, well, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think that when they wreck, there's the fight is happening, and they kind of get caught in a little bit of like gunfire crossfire, and that's why they wreck the ambulance, right? But I don't know if they ever clocked Fox Mask Killer or the lone gunman fighting rather than just like catching a stray bullet and like wrecking. So who knows if she knows that like what's happening with this guy, but he is otherwise in like full military regalia. Like
yeah, that would be weird, but he's not like wearing the creepy mask, right?
But he's not wearing the creepy mask.
Okay. All right.
So after they have this back and forth and she's like, I'm going to see what I can do for you. He starts trying to talk her into taking his gun and taking up his mask, which must have like flown off somewhere, in order to survive. And we don't get a final decision or resolution in this interaction until later in the comic book. But I think one of the fun things to speculate here is, will Laura take up the mantle of Massachusetts? And like, how does that work or play out in the rules? Like, you would think Massachusetts is eliminated. So, who's kind of been our main character in the control room up to this point, right? Or could Laura potentially go rogue or like look out for her own survival? But there does seem to be a kind of like passing of the torch type of conversation happening here.
It's interesting. So roll with me on this. If them's are the rules and your representative can get anybody to like swear allegiance.
Yeah.
Well, follow me on this, right? If that's the rule, then like the tactic would be to like get somebody super charming and just like recruit an entire army of people.
Sure. From the inside to help them
from
out.
The inside,
which,
right?
Honestly, like, yeah, makes sense, right? Like, wouldn't you like say, wouldn't you feel like you maybe had better luck by being like, hey, there's a bunch of psychos and like blah, blah, like make something up that's going on in the town and then recruit a bunch of people from the pit and be like, we're going to fight for our town.
Yeah.
And just be in the mix.
They're actually fighting for like Massachusetts or whatever,
yes,
right?
Exactly
like,
right, without knowing it.
Yeah. That's the tactic.
Yeah, totally. I love that. That's a great take. Okay, and here's another thing that happens during this scene, which I maybe need to go back and read some past issues. Okay. But the lone gunman and EMT Laura talk about the 13 with a lot of familiarity. Where us as a reader, we're like, they're a secret society. Like, people don't really know like that there is a 13, or at least that was my impression. But they're having this back and forth exchange about like, well, do we just let the 13 like get away with this and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, what do you think you can do to stop the 13? So I'm wondering if I missed something in a previous issue where they did some explaining, or two, if while I'm at the scene in the corn maze, if I've missed a bunch of dialogue wherein the lone gunman fully gets Laura up to speed, which is probably more likely what has happened at this point, that instead of him recapping what we already know to us, that's happening off panel. And now Laura completely understands the situation and task at hand.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't remember. It seems like that would be a really big thing to miss, of having like a main character like have
discover
some sort of
the whole
insider
thing
knowledge.
with the 13. Yeah, right.
For sure.
It just happened very abruptly in one of these scenes, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Laura knows about the 13, but it maybe was supposed to be more intuitive that discussion had happened off panel or something, but I was like, all right, Laura knows about a secret society now.
Hey, bound to happen with some of us, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we are now back with Audrey, and she gets to what is left of the pit.
Okay.
And she sees all of the slaughter that, one, the explosion has wrought, and then two, that Pretty Boy has rained upon seeing his face disfigured.
Yes.
And she finds Jason's Halloween mask. So she knows that he has at least been there at some point, which he was last issue.
Yeah.
While she's looking at the mask and taking stock of everything, she gets surprised by Layla Blaze, who is stumbling behind her and is like basically melted flesh on bone at this point. Like,
because she got blown up from behind or something, right? Like,
yeah. So she's already in a fire at this point when Pretty Boy comes up to her and starts to kind of like put the moves on her.
Yes.
And she shoves him into the van, lights the van up, which explodes her back into the fire again. And so now she is just like completely scar tissue burnt, like
got it
right out of the fire. And so she says something creepy, looks all disfigured. There's an axe in someone's chest that Pretty Boy had left there. And in being stunned, Audrey takes the hatchet out of the chest, swings, and clocks Layla right in the middle of the face.
Whoa.
So Layla Blaze, our second killer death in this issue.
And at the hands of a civilian.
That's right.
Jeez. Okay.
All the while, though, Lady Carolina is looking on from the outskirts of the woods. So she has witnessed...
Yeah, because her crossbow got broken.
So she has just witnessed all of this and is just hiding in the side of the woods, and she's smirking because she's making it closer and closer to the finish line while we've seen her in a bar. We've seen her just hiding out, waiting around. But she's playing the waiting game, it seems, and just like letting everyone kill everyone else while she stays in the shadows.
Sure.
Who are our other people who are in the shadows, though? We've got, the Recluse and Rascal Randy, who haven't shown up in a while. So I would expect there to be maybe a comeuppance between two of those three characters at least at some point, maybe next issue. Okay. We're back at the graveyard, and we get a quick final scene with the lone gunman, which just confirms for us again that he is, in fact, fully dead at this point. And we see Nurse Laura kind of give a little bit of a speech to herself about how her dad always wanted her to get out of this town and blah, blah, blah. And her father never gave up, and she sure as shit isn't going to give up now. And is potentially resolved to get the fuck out of this town at some point. So she has the lone gunman's gun in hand. Has not put the mask on yet. We'll see about the mask, which I think would be very badass if we've got like Laura gallivanting around like as one of the 13 that's left in some capacity. But Laura is determined to fight and survive, not just flee
Sure.
and hide,
Sure.
which is, a little bit of a turning point for her. And she's had basic military training. She's not like a badass, but
Yeah.
or like a John Wick style like assassin or anything, but she has had basic military training, so she can fire a gun and has some survival instinct and skills.
Well, and she did like 2 tours in Afghanistan or something, right? Like
as a medic, yeah.
As a medic, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But she was in combat. I mean,
she was in the shit. Yep.
Yeah. It's not nothing.
Nope, not at all. Okay. From there, we go back to the control room, and they just kind of recap the deaths for us from there. And there's a little bit of, ragging on people who've lost their killers, Massachusetts being among them. Everybody wants old Massachusetts to lose, or takes, a special delight when her guy is out.
Uh-huh.
So at this point, we're just recapping here. The dead are Leopold Strong, the Congregation, Nurse Pete, Slater, Gamer Kid, the Lone Gunman, and Layla Blaze. Non-player deaths, we've got Bruce, EMT Ian, and Craig. Obviously a lot more than that at this point, including, like the band.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure is all toast. But those are at least our characters with names that have been killed in the crossfire. And in the game still, we've got Lady Carolina, Rascal Randy, Fox, Mass Killer, Pretty Boy, who is pretty mangled, and Recluse. So our final 5, almost down to our final 4.
Wow.
Right. We've got Audrey alone looking for Jason. She doesn't have her partner in Laura anymore. Laura is resolved to take the fight to what's left of the 13. Mike, Jason, and Zavi are headed out of our Blazing Corn maze. We've got Fox, Mass Killer, Rascal Randy, and Recluse in the wind. We have not seen any of them this issue. And we've got Lady Carolina and Pretty Boy near or leaving the pit. And again, the town is closing in from the fire barrier. So everybody's, kind of getting concentrated into more of a single location at this point. And then one of our last hanging threads that we were kind of speculating, because we hadn't seen the groundskeeper in a while. The groundskeeper is alive, and he is still in contact with the games master.
Sure. Okay.
We're assuming that power outage was the explosion, but we, don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But not a lot of info, but we know he's there and he's trying to do his job to some extent.
Okay.
If there's more at play, it's not really hinted at here.
Sure.
And that's another dang trip to Oak Valley, Maine, my guy.
Wow.
Good issue. A lot happened.
To say nothing of the quality of the writing and the story we're being presented, because that's undeniable. This is a great story. We're all having a blast doing it. I wish we got a map of the town. At some point.
Yeah. It would be nice to see like the circumference of the town that's left, or like where the fire perimeter is.
Like, I want
the
Fortnite,
of like how close everyone is. Yeah.
I want the Fortnite map that shows like the ring of fire shrinking.
Yes.
But even to have these like landmarks that we've been at, just to see, or like to know, is the final showdown at the center of the town? Is this like in a suburban area? Is this like the downtown of the town? Is this the police station? Like,
sure. Yeah.
That would have been something. But that's a minor gripe. And really, as fans of the podcast or fans of the comic making a podcast about the comic, we should probably be the ones to do that legwork and figure out,
like trying to figure out a map.
Yeah, right.
We know you can run from the cemetery to the pit.
Right.
Confirmed. This issue has given us that at least.
Uh-huh.
And then I think Mike took the Zavi and Jason to the corn maze in his car. So there's certain things, and we've seen some, mapping or perimeter based on the route that Laura and Audrey took from the car dealership, then to the police station, and then to the graveyard. Right. So we could probably cobble together a mini map, maybe.
Probably. At least one that makes if the scale, even if the scale isn't accurate, I just want to know what the direction of these landmarks are.
Yeah, right. I'll say for the card game, if anyone hasn't watched any of the videos on how the card game plays out, there isn't a map or movement around a board. It is all card based. Action and event based on cards that are drawn and decisions that you make. So who knows, maybe that might be a fun thing if the play mat or something in the Kickstarter version is a map of the town, just as fun background. That would be really cool to see, and it'd be fun to revisit the book with that kind of context.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent work, Mike. Thanks for doing the legwork. I pulled up my handy dandy FIC Exquisite Corpses spreadsheet.
Yeah, okay.
So, unfortunately for you and I.
Oh, were we totally eliminated?
Both of our picks to win are down. You had Lone Gunman, who was off this issue. I picked Gamer Kid and Calvin, who was out issue 6. Greg is still in it with Lady Carolina.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Looking pretty good. I was the only one that had a correct pick to die by issue 7 with Slater. Greg had Recluse and you had Pretty Boy.
Oh, man. What was I thinking?
Well,
I think in my bracket that I did for the Discord, I had Pretty Boy going a long way.
Yeah. I mean, it's, who knows what we were thinking. Go back to reading the first issue.
Yeah.
Or just going on the preview material.
It's all based on just how much time we spent with each character and how cool their character design was. Well, it's all we had to go on.
I picked
Fox
Gamer
Mascular.
Kid.
I think we all knew that that character was so badass looking that you just hoped they stuck around for a while.
Yeah. And I picked Gamer Kid because I was they're not going to kill a kid, at least immediately. Right. And then...
Uh-huh. Then you found out how big of an SOB this kid was.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Kids dropping "See you next Tuesday" 3 times an issue. Oh, man. Well, excellent work, Mike. Thank you for recounting the issue.
Of course.
I guess we'll be back next month, right, for issue 9?
For issue 9. And another trading card.
And another trading card. That's right. Yeah, I gotta watch some how to plays on the game, and we'll do a stream or something.
Yeah, we should do that in the new year. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I think we've got plenty enough cards to play something at this point. Now that they've done digital release event cards, we could print some of those off and play with all of my character cards.
Yeah, and we should maybe we could get one of the local folks from the Discord to come to a boulevard or something, and we could play, some 2-on-2 or something.
Yeah.
In person and see how it goes.
That'd be fun.
All right.
Yep.
Last thoughts? Anything? What did we forget? Anything?
No, I don't think so. I think, we're speeding things up in this issue. We had a couple issues where there weren't any major deaths, and this is an issue where the waiting kind of paid off a bit. That just like so much is happening so fast, and the stakes feel higher and higher because we're spending more and more time with each of these characters now. We still don't know the recluse very well. Given their name, they are a bit reclusive.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think a lot of us are pulling for Fox Mask and Laura at this point to make it out.
Yeah.
Has Audrey kind of drawn a target on her back by leaving Laura behind? I mean,
dude,
I don't blame her. She's got a kid to look out for, and Laura was incapacitated. But it does seem like one of those storytelling things where you're like, oh, now we've got a little bit of a, hey, this person was a shithead, so we feel a little less bad about them getting murdered later.
Well, especially because she buried an axe in somebody's head too, right?
Somebody's head. So now Audrey is a killer.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep. And like I said, Lady Carolina is just watching in the wings. She's got no incentive to really kill Audrey, aside from the fact that maybe she's just looking for, I think they have like bonus points or side bets.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I mean.
She's just trying to clean up on side bets.
What if Lady Carolina's gonna recruit Audrey?
Could be
to be a killer.
Yeah. Well,
crazy.
Lady Carolina and Audrey already know who each other are, right?
Oh, that's right.
Lady Carolina was the one
she was at the dealership.
Went to get the car from the dealership, which had her cachet in it, and she got Bruce to open up the back of the car, and that's when Bruce lost a hand.
That's right.
Yep. So she knows who that is.
That's right. Interesting. Yep. Okay. I can't wait to see where this season ends up.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to believe that we still have 4 issues left.
I know. 4 issues, 5 characters. So we're going to average another death an issue.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next month. Thanks for listening, and stay safe out there.